You are currently living your life as a completely voluntary puppet, and you do not even realize it. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, you are allowing the external world to dictate your internal state. Someone cuts you off in traffic, and your entire morning is ruined. A coworker makes a passive-aggressive comment, and your blood boils for hours. A stranger leaves a negative opinion on the internet, and you spend your precious cognitive bandwidth trying to formulate the perfect defense. You must wake up and realize the brutal reality of this dynamic. The moment you react emotionally to someone else's provocation, you have instantly surrendered your power to them. You have handed them the remote control to your nervous system. Society wants you highly reactive because a reactive mind is incredibly easy to manipulate, easy to distract, and easy to conquer. Advertisers use your outrage to sell you products. Politicians use your fear to secure your compliance. And toxic individuals use your anger to validate their own pathetic existence. If you can be angered easily, you can be conquered easily. Your lack of emotional control is not a personality trait. It is a fatal, bleeding vulnerability. Until you learn to sever the wires that connect your emotions to the chaotic events of the outside world, you will remain a helpless passenger in a vehicle driven by people who do not care if you crash. To stop being a victim of your own reactivity, you must construct the architecture of a cold mind. Do not misunderstand this concept. Having a cold mind does not mean you become a robotic psychopath who is incapable of feeling human emotion. It means you develop an impenetrable, ironclad fortress between the moment a stimulus occurs and the moment you choose to respond. When an average man is insulted, the gap between the insult and his angry reaction is 0 milliseconds. He operates on pure, animalistic reflex. When a sovereign man is insulted, he catches the insult in midair. He examines it, analyzes the pathetic insecurity of the person who threw it, and then consciously decides that it does not deserve an ounce of his energy. He feels the initial spike of adrenaline, but he violently refuses to let it bypass his rational brain. A cold mind is a biological vault. Do acknowledge the chaos happening outside the walls, but you completely deny it entry into your sanctuary. You must train yourself to view the emotional outbursts of other people as a fascinating, psychological experiment rather than a personal attack. When you decouple your ego from the opinions of the herd, you become incredibly dangerous. You become a man who can walk through a burning building with a slow, measured heartbeat, simply because the fire was not authorized to disturb him. In the brutal arena of human psychology, your silence is infinitely more violent than your shouting. When someone attacks you, disrespects you, or attempts to draw you into a chaotic argument, they are desperately seeking a specific currency, your emotional engagement. They want you to raise your voice. They want you to defend yourself. And they want to see the veins popping out of your neck. Why? Because your anger proves that they are significant enough to affect you. The ultimate counterattack is to completely deprive them of that currency. Deploy weaponized silence. When they throw their best insult at you, you do not flinch. You do not scowl. You simply look at them with a blank, unblinking, terrifyingly dead expression. You hold eye contact, and you let the silence stretch out until it becomes agonizingly uncomfortable for them. This lack of reaction creates a massive psychological vacuum. The aggressive energy they threw at you hits a solid brick wall and instantly rebounds back onto them. Without your reaction to fuel their fire, they begin to feel foolish, small, and utterly powerless. They will start over-explaining, stuttering, and backpedaling to fill the horrifying quiet you have subjected them to. You defeat them completely without uttering a single syllable. You must understand the fundamental nature of the people who actively try to provoke you. Manipulators, narcissists, and professional victims are psychological parasites. They do not possess their own internal source of validation, so they must extract it from you by constantly pushing your buttons. Your anger is their food. Your frustration is their oxygen. Every time you try to argue logic with a person who is committed to misunderstanding you, you are serving them a 5-star meal at the expense of your own mental health. The only way to exterminate a parasite is to completely sever its food supply. When you react to nothing, you starve them to death. You must reach a level of absolute arrogance where you genuinely believe that the vast majority of people simply do not have the clearance level to access your emotions. If a toddler calls you a highly offensive name, you do not get angry and challenge the toddler to a fight. You ignore it, because you understand the toddler is operating at a vastly inferior level of intelligence. You must apply this exact same framework to the toxic adults in your life. Their provocations are the tantrums of an undeveloped mind. By refusing to engage, you are delivering the ultimate, unspoken disrespect. You are telling them that they are completely irrelevant to your existence. When you fully integrate the power of a cold mind, your reality shifts into an entirely new dimension. You step out of the noisy, chaotic matrix of constant human drama and ascend to the apex of absolute sovereignty. You will walk through the world with a slow, heavy, undeniable gravity. People will instinctively sense that you are different. They will sense that you cannot be moved, manipulated, or rattled by the trivial nonsense that consumes the lives of 99% of the population. This lack of reactivity is the ultimate alpha trait. Bet commands deep primal respect from both your allies and your enemies. You will suddenly realize that you have reclaimed massive amounts of time and energy that used to be wasted on pointless arguments and emotional hangovers. You will channel that newly liberated power directly into your finances, your physique, and your personal empire. Let the weak fight over crumbs of validation. Let them scream, let them cry, and let them be blown around by the wind of every passing emotion. You are the mountain. You do not move. You react to nothing. You control everything, and you watch the world quietly bow to the man who refuses to be broken by it.